All right, now that we have solved equations using mobile balances, we are going to be working on solving equations without mobile balances. So at the end of this video, you will be able to solve an equation without having to draw a mobile balance. I would like to point out as we're doing these, you can always draw a mobile balance if you are stuck. If it helps you get to an answer and it makes more sense in your brain, you go right ahead and do it. All right, so I'm just going to start with examples, and we actually when we were solving with mobile balances, we actually were solving without as well because we were always writing the equation. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to be solving. So I have 2x plus 3 equals 8 plus 3x plus 9. Okay, so I'm going to be thinking a mobile balance in my head actually. So if I look at this, just think of we draw 2 x's and 3, and then on the right side we draw an 8 and then 3 x's and then 9. So if I'm thinking about this, if I think the mobile balance in my head, I know that I can put the 8 and the 9 together. So I'm going to leave the 2x plus 3 alone, and then on the right side the 8 and the 9 would become 17, and I still have 3 x's. Okay, still thinking in my head about the mobile balances, I see that I have x's on both sides. And if I'm thinking of what I could cross off, I for sure have 2 x's on each side that I can cross off. So I can get rid of this 2x. If I got rid of 2 x's on this side, I'd still be left with an x. So my new equation would be 3 equals 17 plus x. And then from here, just like what we did when we were solving using a balance, I just want the x, so I don't want the 17. So if I don't want the 17, I'm going to cross it off. But since it's a positive on the other side to get rid of it, I have to subtract it. Okay, then if I'm looking at the left side, two things I could do. I can just type 3 minus 17 in my calculator, or I could think I have different signs, so I have to subtract. And either way, I'm going to get 14, and my answer is going to be negative. And that just leaves me with an x on the right side, and I found what x is, so I would be done. But again, you could totally solve using a mobile balance. So even on these ones, when I say to solve without a mobile balance, when it is your turn, if you feel more comfortable drawing the mobile balance, you go right ahead because there's nothing wrong with it. All right, so negative 24 equals 5x minus 11. All right, so this one, again, I'm trying to think the mobile balance. There's nothing on either side. A lot of times I even like to draw a line to keep in my mind that they're two separate sides of the mobile balance. Nothing that I can combine on this side because there's not another number, there's not another x. There's no x's that I can cross off because there aren't x's on each side, so I'm going to skip right to the step where I just want the x's by themselves, so I don't want this minus 11. So I know if I don't want the minus 11, since it's minus on this side, to get rid of it, I need to do plus 11 on this side. And then we have two options. I could simply type in negative 24 plus 11 into my calculator, or I could be thinking that I have two different signs, so I need to subtract, and I will get negative 13, which that is not what I wanted to get. So we're going to change this problem just to make it work, because I would like it to work. Let's make this 13. Let's make it maybe minus 14, then it will work out nicely. So then when I do that, I get negative 10. Okay, so then again, I just don't want to deal with fractions or anything. We'll just take it a little bit easy this time. So then I know my last step is to take negative 10 and divide it by 5 x's, so I end up getting x is equal to negative 2. Please notice that it doesn't really matter if I write x equals negative 2 or negative 2 equals x. They mean the same thing. I kind of just like this way because I have found the value of x. All right, number 3, let's try another one with me. If I have 2x plus 7 plus 6x equals 23, again, I'm going to draw a line just to show that those would be my two sides of my mobile balance. In my brain, I'm thinking, all right, I know that I have 2 x's, and then there's that 7, and then there's 6 x's. So I would actually, if I were looking at what I have, I would put those together and make them 8 x's. And then I still have the plus 7, and I have the equals 23. And then I'd look, there's nothing else on the left side to combine. There's nothing else on the right side. There's no x's on each side to cross off. So I want the x's by themselves. So I don't want this plus 7. So I know to get rid of it, I'm going to do the opposite of it. So I'll do minus 7 on the other side. So then from here, 23 minus 7 is 16. And then I still just have those 8 x's. And then my last step is always to take 16 divided by the 8 x's. So I get x equals 2. All right. Okay, number 4, it is now going to be your turn. Let's go ahead and write down this equation. 5x minus 3 equals 3x plus 19. Okay, so on this one, you are going to go ahead and try it out, see how you do, see if you can do it without the mobile balance. But if you do need to draw the mobile balance, you go right ahead. So at this point in time, please pause the video and try it on your own. Alrighty, welcome back. So I am going to go ahead trying to do this without a mobile balance. I still am going to draw my line to show that I do have two sides. So I noticed that I don't have anything to combine on the left side. I don't have anything to combine on the right side, but I do have x's on each side. And I noticed I could cross off at most 3 x's. So I'm going to cross off all 3 x's on this side, which means I'd cross off 3 of the x's on this side, and that would leave me with 2x. So my new equation is going to be 2x minus 3 on the left side and 19 on the right side. And then from here, I'm just left with, I want the 2 x's to stay, but I don't want the minus 3, so I know to get rid of it, I need to do plus 3 on the other side, and 19 plus 3 will give me 22. So on the left side, I still have 2x. And then to finish it, just like always, we take 22 divided by 2 x's, and that will give us x equals 11. So hopefully that is what you got as well. And hopefully now you are more comfortable with solving an equation without a mobile balance.